Alright, so we're going to do pumpkin scones. Now, I've got ready for us, the oven is on, so I've got it at about 180. I've got a tray with some baking paper on it, and I've got the ingredients ready. So I've got the butter, which is about 2 ounces of melted butter. That's about just on 60 grams, so you could just mark it off on your butter just over the 50-gram mark. I have the pureed pumpkin, so there's a cup of pumpkin, the sugar, and the egg. So 4 ounces of sugar is about 113 grams, or it's about 3/4 of a cup. And then the dry ingredients, the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. So I sift it in. You probably don't have to, but yeah, we're gonna start on the recipe. So it says to cream the egg, the sugar, and the butter, and the pumpkin, but I'm just gonna do it separately. So just grab your mixer. That's probably all it needs. It's only about a minute, so it's gonna look nice and I don't know if you can see that, nice and creamy. And then I add in the pumpkin to that. I would suggest only doing one batch first. That's all I'm doing. I don't know whether how the kids are going to like it, so just do one batch, and if it's a really big success then you can go in and do another batch. So turn the beater back down to a lower speed and then beat the pumpkin in. Okay, so that's all that needs. It's going to look nice and creamy, just like that. So sift in your dry ingredients. Sifting, you actually really probably don't need to sift it in, but it just makes sure that the baking powder, the salt and the flour is all mixed together nicely. Now the trick to folding in your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients is you don't want to over mix it. So the thing with scones, it's important that you don't beat the shit out of it, because you just want it to combine. You don't want it to be like a too gluey and doughy. Now the recipe says add milk if you need to. What I've always been told is that scones should be wetter than what you think. So my puree was quite a thick puree mixture. So this is what it looks like at the moment. That's what it looks like at the moment. So that is too dry. So we're going to add some milk into that. So just add milk as you go, just a little bit. Okay, I want a bit more milk in there because it's still too dry. Oops. Okay, that's probably the consistency that I want it now. So you can see that it's quite a wet dough. That's what you want. Okay, like you want quite a wet dough. You don't want a dry mix. All right, so I like to spoon that out onto the tray with the baking paper on it. Just make sure it's all mixed in. So grab your tray. Some people do like to do scones in like one big kind of square and then cut it. I put about that much on a dessert spoon. Cut it. I prefer to do individual scones. Now it doesn't matter if they're close together because you can, break them apart once they've cooked. So I do kind of heaped dessert spoons of the mix onto the tray. This is going to give me quite a few actually. So keep going with that until you've either covered your tray and you're all done. You can use another tray if you want to. I might just add some of this leftover mixture to some of the scones. Okay, so that's, sorry, I'm not very good at that. So that's the tray of scones. There's 9 there. Pop it in the oven. So it says to bake for about 10 minutes. I put it in about the middle. Now keep an eye on them. So hot oven, bake for 15 minutes. It says actually not 10. So just keep an eye on them. Sometimes you might want to just check the bases. There's no real way of telling whether they're done. So mine's gone in at 12:14. I'll check them and then I'll make a note of how long it's taken in my oven. Your oven will be different. And then I'll take a photo of what they look like at the end. Okay.